Okay, so we know that there are two kinds of information or asymmetric information, right? So they bring different kinds of problems. First, hidden action, they bring in the so-called moral hazard problem, or in Chinese we call it 道德风险. Okay, so let's see what is moral hazard. So, for example, some people they visit doctors more after they purchase health information or health insurance. All right, what does that mean? So before they have health insurance, taking a visit to a doctor is very expensive. So if that's the case, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to sleep, go to bed earlier. We need to wake up earlier, and we need to do exercise every day, something like that. But once we have health insurance, then we typically will not so careful about our body. We will do something that actually we should not do. But maybe we just want to, we just know that we get protection by health insurance. Then we're going to do something that is not good. Okay, so that's a very typical situation. So I remember when I was in Taiwan, we typically say we are under the protection of health insurance for everybody, right? So when I was in Taiwan, every during the period of September or October or November, when it gets colder, I'm going to catch a cold. So that's always the case. But after I go to United States, when I was there for the 4 years, because I was always threatened that visiting a doctor is very expensive, even with our student insurance. So I just take care of myself. So for that whole 4 years, I don't have any sick at all. So that's something that we all understand. Health insurance is going to change how we behave, and that how we behave is indeed hidden actions, right? If you are a health insurancer, if you are a health insurance company, you do think consumers should help themselves by making themselves healthy. But you also understand that you cannot force them to do that because you cannot see it perfectly. Okay, that's one thing. A very similar thing happens to car insurance. All right. So if I don't have any car insurance, then regarding driving, regarding parking, I'm going to be very serious. But if I'm protected by car insurance, by damage waivers, and so on, then when I, for example, park my car, I'm not going to be to be that serious. Okay, so that's the same thing. If I are protected, I'm going to be less serious. The same thing also happens regarding insurance. Okay, if I don't have insurance, then typically I should be careful about my product. But because I have warranty control, warranty protection, then I'm going to feel satisfied about, okay, if my product is broken, I'm still going to have someone to fix that for me. Then if that's the case, I'm going to say, no, let's just use it carelessly. That's possible. When someone designs a warranty, typically that's designed to protect consumers, right? Because it's still possible that we make some bad products and the consumers happens to buy this fake low quality product, and it happens that there are some defect, and we should have somehow help our consumers to replace it, for example. But we all know that once we provide warranty, consumer behavior changes. Once we provide insurance, consumer behavior changes. We don't say that they are bad guys, but actually they should not do that. Hopefully they don't do that, okay? So that's why we say this is a moral issue. Or maybe you may think in the last way. In many cases, as an instructor, I want to design take-home exam. Why is that? Because it's easier. I don't want to have someone to put an eye on all my students, seeing that whether they are cheating or not. I don't want to enforce everybody to sit somewhere that you don't want to sit, and then we require you to take away all your notes and so on, so that we may take an exam. I hope that you can search online. I hope that you may take a look at your notes and then answer some interesting questions. But I also know that if this is a take-home exam, always there are some people who want to cheat. That's possible. So because there are some people who wants to cheat, then a take-home exam is not so effective, at least not fair. All right. So again, that's a moral issue. I want to design a take-home exam, but I cannot observe what you are doing. I don't know that hidden action. Then that makes things ineffective. So people do some response, right? If we are talking about insurance, there can be deductibles, all right? So for example, for car insurance, it's very typical that, okay, I say, suppose I make something broken, the company is going to pay up to $3,000. But for the first $500, I need to pay by myself. So that means if the damage is for about $400, I need to do it by myself. But if the damage is about $1,000, then I'm going to pay 500 and the company pays the other 500, something like that. The company knows that this is somewhat effective because I, as a driver, I don't want to create serious damage, okay, because that may hurt my life. But if that's small damage, I need to take care of that by myself. So pretty much deductible is designed because of moral hazard, because of hidden actions. That's going to create some troubles when people are negotiating regarding the insurance company. But anyway, we need to do that. Warranty contracts, the same thing. We don't want people to become careless once they have warranty. So that's why many warranty contracts are very complicated. People are not so easy to understand. It's not so easy to understand all those contracts. So some people will choose to use the product as if there is no warranty. Okay? Or we may create in-class exams instead of take-home exam. All these things are designed to deal with hidden actions. Basically, the logic is that if you are allowed to do something by yourself, and I don't want you to do this thing, then I try to take away that option. Okay? So in that sense, we say, with moral hazard, social welfare decreases. I cannot see what you are doing. I need to prevent you from doing something that I don't want. So I take away some options. Okay? I make you feel troublesome. Then in that case, you are not happy, I'm not happy, everybody is unhappy, social welfare decreases due to hidden action. So while we have hidden action bringing moral hazard, when we have hidden information, that brings in adverse selection problems. Well, what's that? There are actually two types of adverse selection problems. One is called a screening problem, one is called a signaling problem. Regarding screening, is that when there is a case that the follower has hidden information, then as a principal, the leader, we need to take some actions to extract the information from the follower. What's that? Or if we talk about the signaling problem, then it's the other way. There is a leader who has some information and takes some action to convince the leader about that information. So later we're going to give you several examples, but here we know that there is a leader and there is a follower. Okay? Suppose the follower has some private information and you are unknown about those information. You do some action to try to extract those information. Then that's you are facing a screening problem. Okay? So for example, you as a student, you don't know what will be the problems in the final exam. Then you as students, you try to do something. For example, you talk to me and try to convince me that the exam is just so difficult. The course is so difficult. You have so many course load. Try to ask me to tell you the information. Then you are the leader, I'm the follower. The one who takes some action is called a leader. Okay? That's a screening problem. Or It always happens that the other way around. I have some information you don't know, and I try to do something to convince you about that information. For example, maybe I know the exam is very, very easy. I try to convince you that this is the case so that you don't bother me to give you some review sessions. Okay? Then maybe one action I can do is that, hi everyone, the exam is so simple. So if you cannot get 80, I'm going to give everybody $1 million, something like that. Okay? So I'm going to provide some guarantees or some words. You probably don't believe in me because that seems to be a joke, right? But anyway, I should try to do something to convey the information to you. In that case, that's a signaling problem. So later, let's see some examples regarding each one.